Hey, what's going on, guys? I'm back in the shop. Finally, gonna start working on something, maybe just a little bit. Not sure how much time I'm gonna be able to devote to this project, but I'm at least gonna try to start. I've got some time right now. I think I'll have some time coming up here, so I'm gonna get as much done as I can. And I'm gonna be starting the X-Wing helmet that I promised so long ago that I was gonna be building. Just haven't been able to start it, just zero time. So here it is in all its glory. This one is not quite the perfect version, not quite the 100% correct version. There's a couple little differences on it. Namely, there's a clasp that goes on each side that is not quite right. And then I think that's the only real difference between the correct version and the one that we have here. And so I'm basically just going to pop those incorrect clasps off and I'll cut that out of the kit. So let me show you the kit. Alright, let me show you the parts that matter for right now. This is the clasp I was talking about. You can see how this has a particular shape on it, whereas this kit, which is more accurate, has the correct style of clasp. It's just a different model of helmet. I don't remember the exact correct version. This one is the APH-5L. I want to say it's an APH-6 or something like that is the correct version. Don't quote me on that because I don't remember off the top of my head and I don't want to look it up. But there's two main things that I'm going to have to pull off of this that I'll need to put onto this real helmet. One being that clasp. I'll have to cut that out and fix that onto here, which shouldn't be a problem. The other being the mohawk, because as you see, there's no mohawk on here. So I can fit that on there. So I've got to decide how I want to do it. I think what I'm going to have to do is I'm going to have to cut this with a flange. You know, all the way around. I'll probably leave this on, but leave a flange on. But that'll give me a flat surface to attach, you know, the mohawk to the surface of the helmet. Beyond that, the rest of this I'm not going to use because granted, this detail is kind of smoothed over on the X-Wing helmets. The whole idea is to use real parts and make it look as, you know, gritty and real as we can. Not necessarily accurate. This is more idealized or some sort of weird blend of real parts, but not, I guess, is the idea behind it. And this is, of course, Ian's idea. I think it's a cool idea. I'm going to rock it, of course. The other thing we got to do is, there's a lens in here, the yellow lens that comes down, and I need to see if I can figure out a way to get the original lenses out and put in this yellow lens, and I suspect that's going to be a real pain in the rear, but you know, whatever. These two pieces are the top of the mohawk. They actually attach like on here, like so. You bend it around and you glue it down. It's something like that. Hard to imagine, but that's what it's for. We've got the foam pieces for the inside for the new liner, and then there's the ear cups that go in here. So those pieces, and then we got a whole bag of goodies. These are decals and stickers and whatnot that go on the outside, and then we have like plastic trim that goes along the bottom. We have plastic trim, so I'm probably not going to use that. What else we got? A bunch of pop rivets. We get the chin cup. And this is the very front piece of the mohawk. This way. So it goes on like so. Kind of tidies up and makes it look a little more sci-fi there. And what else? This is, I think, the chin cup pad maybe. There's some straps and other... Oh, hey, look at that. That's like a block. Look at that thing. What is that for? No, I've only got one. That's like the, kind of looks like this. I'll have to look and see what that's for. A little bit. Huh. Interesting. Alright, so we got our helmet. We got our X-Wing helmet kit with all the parts that we're going to be cannibalizing from. I think the first thing I really got to do is start disassembling. Start taking things apart. I got to get the old liner out and the old headset that's built into it, like it's actually got speakers and whatnot. It's actually got an actual cord on it here for plugging in to, you know, their avionics comm system or whatever. And then I also got to see about the shield. See what we're dealing with, and I'm also going to dig up some reference photos. I've got, you know, the books and whatnot, and I've got a bunch of stuff saved as files on my computer, and just kind of see what all I need to do. But I think the first thing is I'm going to start pulling off all the stuff I know for sure is not going to be saved. Like the inner liner is made out of styrofoam. I'm going to try to save it just in case I need it later to like fill in some space, but I think I am definitely going to pull it out though. I might wind up putting it back in, but I am going to pull it out because there's like a leather pad, and if you put that helmet on, it just leaves like this disintegrated, I guess it's leather, but it's just like disintegrating, and you just get covered in that crap. I put that helmet on like a couple times, and like I don't want to put it on again until that stuff's out of it. It's really, you wind up feeling pretty filthy afterwards. Anyways, let's get to destroying it. No, just disassembling. Whatever this stuff is, it's nasty. It's like pleather with a foam like middle or something. I don't know. But like the foam is disintegrating and the adhesive backing is just not wanting to come up. Which is probably good if you're trying to, make a helmet. But bad if you're trying to take one apart, I guess. Ugh. Isn't that pleasant? This stuff is gross. I'm just going to throw it away. There's nothing there of value. And it is left a dusty, nasty coating all over my bench. So, got to clean up first. Made the mistake of blowing into the helmet to blow out some of that dust with my mouth. It blew right back into my face. So, lesson learned. Don't do that. Pro tip, don't do that. Okay, let's see if we can remove these now. I'm sure they're just glued right in there. They wouldn't make them easy to come out, would they? I can see the glue. It's not going to pick up on camera, but in that crack, if you get it just right, there's glue underneath. It's shiny, and this is not going to move, so let me see if the liner is going to fit in here with this foam, because would rather not destroy it, but at the same time, if it's in the way, it's got to go. Does it fit? It's a little high, but it does fit. It's actually pretty comfortable. Look like a motorcycle cop now. Well, I suppose with that liner, it works, it fits. I'm not sure that it would get a whole lot better as far as oh, my hair's a little messed up now. The only thing is, like, without the styrofoam lining in there, it would probably sit a little bit lower on the head, you know, like if you put it on, it would come down just a touch more. It looked like on the face shields, they were like, you know, the notch. The notch was riding a little high. It was like way up here when it should have been down here, I think, and then, you know, kind of going like this, where it felt like it was a little bit more at the bottom of my eye versus, you know, along the cheekbone. Not sure what I'm going to do about that. I'm going to leave for now. I'm going to ask Ian what he wants, because this is his helmet. So if I got to chisel out that styrofoam, then I will. I got to figure out what I'm going to do about all these stripes. All these little decorations on here. I think I'm going to use my heat gun and like an X-Acto blade and try and peel them up. They've been on here for a very long time, so I suspect they're not going to want to come up. But that can come out for now. Alright, so that's pretty satisfying, but it's also kind of infuriating. The material it heats up well, and the adhesive actually is still sticky. but it's very brittle. So you got to keep it hot, and if you heat it up too much, it breaks. And if you let it get too cool and you're pulling on it, it breaks. So you got to keep it in just the right spot, and then you can peel it without breaking. Well, that was one. 6 more to go. Well, that was a whole lot of not fun. It's kind of satisfying, but it's really, really frustrating because the ones on the back were really brittle. At least the two white ones. The first white one was like the worst. It was just breaking constantly. There's a ton of adhesive still stuck on the back, so I'm gonna have to deal with that. I got some Goo Gone I can rub on there. It should take it off. And then the red one, or the orange one, was actually pretty good. I almost got it off the whole thing in one piece, but the last like 3/8 of an inch just snapped off, and I'm like, no. And then the final one, actually, the final white one, it went okay. It broke a few times. It was kind of a pain, but the adhesive for some reason, the adhesive on those back ones was like a lot less. I guess I should say the temperature range to make it stay with the tape was a lot more narrow, and it would also tend to break a lot easier too. Like if you got it just a touch too hot, it just break. It was very, very temperamental. I don't think I'm going to do anything else to it today. It is stripped down. One thing I did notice is the top part up here is not painted, but the back part is painted because we got some chips. Yeah, so paint is chipping. So and also there's some discoloration on the top piece because it's not painted. I don't know if that's going to pick up. Let me get under a light here. It's very faint. You can see the bars where it was, or where the reflective tape was on here. Does that pick up at all? Anyways, I know there's ways to restore plastic that's been discolored. I've seen some videos where guys do restorations on old toys, and they bring them back to their original color, the plastic back to its original color when it was white and it turned kind of brown, you know. So maybe that's something I can look into. I gotta talk to Ian. I think we're gonna have to take this crest off the front, and then there's a little sticker here on the back. And the reason why we gotta take those off, I think, is because the Mohawk's gonna go there. So they're gonna get covered up and not seen anyway. They're kind of cool, you know, little vintage stickers, you know, but I got a cat here. Are you gonna work on something, Lucy? Yeah, probably not. But, you know, if they're gonna get covered up, I think I'm probably just better off taking them off. So, all right, guys, that's gonna be it. What do you have to say, Lucy? Yeah, she hates to be picked up. All right, see ya. All right, that's gonna be it for this video, guys. Hopefully I'll be back soon. I got some things to discuss with Ian on what we're gonna do on certain parts, and then we'll be back at tearing it down a little bit more, and then we get to start the build-up. Okay.